A frozen camp can look perfectly safe right before it turns deadly. The fire is glowing. The shelter is standing strong. The wind is blocked. Yet morning arrives and one traveler never gets up. For generations, stories from harsh winter country revealed a surprising truth. Many experienced trappers did not lose their lives because of roaring storms. They lost them because they misunderstood where the cold was really coming from. The deadliest threat was often beneath them, silent, patient, and impossible to negotiate with. Most people think survival in winter is about fighting the air. They think about jackets, blankets, hats, gloves, and roaring fires. Those things matter. They always will. But old wilderness knowledge taught a different lesson. The cold above you is obvious. The cold below you is sneaky. It works quietly while you sleep. It steals heat without noise, without warning, and without the dramatic signs that make people react. That simple mistake trapped countless travelers throughout history. They built strong shelters. They found firewood. They escaped the wind. Then they stretched out directly on frozen ground, packed snow, or cold stone. In their minds, the battle was won. In reality, it had only begun. The reason is surprisingly simple. Heat moves from warm things to cold things. Your body is warm. The earth in winter is cold. When you lie directly on the ground, your body becomes connected to an enormous heat sink. The ground absorbs warmth hour after hour. Unlike a blanket, it never becomes satisfied. Unlike a small object, it never warms enough to stop pulling heat away. The earth simply keeps taking. This process is called conduction. It happens whenever two objects touch. Touch a cold metal railing during winter and you feel the chill almost instantly. The metal pulls heat from your hand. Now imagine your entire body pressed against frozen soil for 8 hours. The same process continues all night long. Even a strong shelter cannot stop it. Even a good fire struggles to overcome it. Old trappers learned that survival started from the ground up. Before worrying about comfort, they worried about insulation. The smartest among them treated the earth like an enemy. They understood that the first task in camp was not building a perfect roof. It was creating a barrier between their body and the frozen surface below. That barrier was often made from materials freely available in the forest. Evergreen boughs were a favorite choice. Spruce, fir, and pine branches created a thick mattress when layered correctly. Dry grass, bark, leaves, reeds, and straw could serve a similar purpose. The material itself was only part of the secret. The real magic came from trapped air. Still air is one of nature's best insulators. When branches are piled deeply and crisscrossed together, countless tiny pockets of air become trapped between them. Those pockets slow heat loss dramatically. Instead of flowing straight into the ground, warmth stays closer to the body. A thick bed of natural insulation can make a remarkable difference during a freezing night. Many survival experts still teach a version of this principle today. Modern sleeping pads work for the same reason. They are designed to trap air and reduce heat transfer into the ground. The technology may look advanced, but the idea is ancient. Long before outdoor stores existed, wilderness travelers were solving the same problem with materials gathered by hand. There was another reason experienced outdoorsmen cleared snow before making camp. Snow beneath the body eventually melts from body heat. Melted snow becomes water. Water steals heat far faster than dry air. A comfortable sleeping spot can quickly become a cold, wet trap. Clearing down to the ground and building insulation on top helped prevent that dangerous cycle. One of the most interesting lessons from historical winter travel is that confidence often created risk. A well-built shelter feels reassuring. Once the wind disappears and warmth from a fire fills the air, the brain relaxes. That comfort can encourage shortcuts. A tired traveler may decide to skip building a proper bed. After all, the shelter feels warm. The danger seems gone. That is exactly what made the mistake so deadly. Wind announces itself. Snow announces itself. A collapsing shelter announces itself. Ground conduction does none of those things. It does not shake you awake. It does not howl outside your walls. It simply lowers body temperature little by little until the situation becomes critical. For modern preppers, this lesson remains incredibly valuable. Expensive gear can fail. Emergencies can happen unexpectedly. Knowing how to create insulation from natural materials may one day matter more than owning the latest equipment. If forced to spend a winter night outdoors, remember the priority order used by generations of wilderness survivors. Insulate from the ground first. Block the wind second. Build or manage your heat source third. The wisdom is simple, practical, and timeless. Winter survival is not just about staying warm. It is about understanding how warmth escapes. The storm may look like the villain in every survival story, but appearances can be deceiving. Again and again, history showed that the quiet thief below was often more dangerous than the raging weather above. The travelers who understood that truth gave themselves a powerful advantage. The ones who ignored it sometimes paid the ultimate price before sunrise. There is also a broader lesson hidden inside this old survival practice. Knowledge often looks ordinary until conditions become extreme. A pile of branches does not seem impressive beside modern gear catalogs and glossy advertisements. Yet wilderness history repeatedly proved that small habits decide big outcomes. The people who endured hard winters paid attention to details. They studied the land, watched the weather, conserved energy, and respected simple physics. Those habits built resilience. When conditions turned dangerous, preparation mattered more than bravado. The smartest survivors were rarely the boldest. They were the ones who understood that nature rewards patience, awareness, discipline, and humility.